What's going on, Dandy Crew? It's Dandy Drew here, and we are back for another day of Catan. If this is your first time coming to the channel, welcome, welcome. Everything Catan strategy, tactics, and also just having a good time. It's all here. I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, so here we go. Sprinkly, we are on the rank grind, and we are in the third position here. So interesting board. Obviously, one of the key features here is this kind of clumpy 5-4-11 ore situation. All the ore kind of right there in the center of the board. What else? A lot of brick. Feels like there's going to be a lot of brick, which actually makes me think this 5-8-10 is a really nice pick. What else can we do? 6-9-3, one of the classic favorites of the Dandy Crew, if you are familiar. 6-5-11, also very interesting, right? Grabbing this brick, grabbing the ore. The question is, do you get a good wheat source? So, man, it can kind of get messy quickly depending on what second does here, because if he takes the 8-5-10, we have to be very conscious about what we give the fourth, right? Because if we take like 8-10-4, 6-5-11, 6-9-3 is a pretty insane setup. So we might have to take the 6-9-3 in anticipation of that, and hopefully we can get something to work with, something to play with. I'm assuming they would go something like 8-4-3, 6-5-11. I'm not sure, though. I mean, there's a lot of play on this board. We could opt to go oreless, but I'm not crazy about that either. So let's see what we get here. I think 8-5-10 is good. The port play is not that great, though, right? Having the wheat port, not special. The sheep's kind of lacking here. Versus like with the 6-9-3, we do have a couple key features. We do pick up the rare sheep. We do have an isolated brick, which could be helpful. We do get one of the better wheats on this board, and we do also have good ports. So if they go 8-5-10, ultimately I'm pretty happy about that. We'll see. Wherever you're at in the world, I just appreciate you being here. I hope you've had an incredible week. Hope you've been accomplishing all your goals and everything you've set out to do in life. You know, for some of you, you've got different goals on the leaderboard. That's cool. And maybe you just want to come here and hang out and chill and watch some Catan. Also cool, too. I appreciate everyone and anyone. All right, looks like we got a bot pick. So, I guess my question here is if we go 6-5-11, do we get one of these spots? That would be the best case, right? Like we take the best ore, we take that 6 brick, and then we kind of work an angle there. I'm pretty happy about that fact. Now, we do leave, for instance, like the 9-4-11, which is actually just a good spot in general. Interesting. Many interesting notes here on this board for sure. One thing I would be really happy with is if like we either get the 6-5-11 or the 8-4-10. Does he take both? Like this and then points down, and then what do we get? This and points down, and we can go something like here, point right. It's not bad. He can take 6-3-11. 8-4-3's open. 8-4-10's interesting, but then he just goes 6-9-3. Let's go take a look. So Blue's the next one to pick here. Let's take a look at his profile. He seems like a decent player. Obviously kind of like a high 1600 player. It's going to really depend on his play style, right? I do think 8-4-3, 5-6-11 is really good. But then we also do get a lot to work with there ourselves, right? Like we can take the 8-4-3, we can work the brick port, we can work potentially the wheat port. Am I just giving him too much? Maybe. Let me go with my gut. I thought 6-9-3 was good. I feel like I am giving him a very good setup. There's no doubt about it, especially if he goes something like 8-4-10 down with the 6-5-11 as well. But I'm taking a calculated risk, and I think one of the things I'm looking at here, I know it looks weird, but maybe even like the 9-4-11 right. And the idea is that I think one of these spots will be open for me. Because there's a pretty good shot the bot's going to take a pretty high producing spot. And if all else fails, we could play more of a trade-based setup, something like 8-4-3 on the right-hand side. I know this looks weird. Trust me. I totally see it. But if I can start with the ore, I'd prefer that, frankly. Actually, looking at this too, he might even consider like 6-3-11 left. But he should probably lock the ore as much as he humanly can. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. All right, does 6-5 ever go? I mean, it's actually a pretty solid pick on this board, isn't it? Do we just go ore pile Mania? Interesting pick. Well, I think he's going to take the 8-4-3, right? I mean, he could go something like this. I like the 5-4-11. It's kind of funky. Chonky, funky, monkey. 5-4-11 right. And then 5-6 could go. I'm taking a massive risk. It's really about what does this player want to take. 5-6 could go, though. And then the board opens up, and he could get something like this. But if we leave that, then that goes. Like, we're just going to take a risk here, guys. I mean, it might be a horrible decision on our part. But equally, too, this is a lot of ore. I like it, though. I like it. You know, I feel like what we could do is we can probably do some ore for wheat trades, drop a 6-9-3 city. All of a sudden, we have a ton of ore. The 9 is big. The 3 is big. I do think he's probably going to take the 5-6, but that's okay. Like, we can lose that. I just didn't want to leave the 9-4-11. I didn't leave the 5-6-11. These are both just incredible picks. So we're kind of hedging our bets here a bit. But 5-6 left, 5-6 right. I mean, these are all, yeah. It is what it is. Maybe in hindsight, maybe we should have pointed down there. But I think now he takes 8-4-3 and he can run to the Woodport. It's a pretty decent game. My goal with this position is to show you the power of ore wheat sheep, right? Looks a little unconventional what we're doing here, but I promise you the payoff on this setup could be really, really big. Now, I do think because we're kind of primed to go for an early city, we're probably going to become a pretty big target. There's no doubt about it. And I probably should have pointed down, right? That's kind of my misstep. Should have pointed down. Holy shit. Okay, I think we just take it. I think it just makes a hell of a lot of sense. And if we can start to get some of our rolls here, perfect. So one thing I've been teaching a lot of people over my time in playing Catan is the power of having a good starting hand, right? So even though we started with the 3 ore, all you need is a couple wheat rolls. All of a sudden, you've essentially kicked up your production 30-40% with that city. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for 2 cards here. I can also do the wood as well. Pretty happy with the wood. Blue is taking a lot of these deals. Yeah. I think that's completely understandable given the start of my game, for sure. So, does this have any value to anyone? Let's see here. I don't think so, especially the fact that we do share this brick roll. But I am going to try to do something along the lines of this, and I'm looking specifically at orange here, right? Because he is the wood guy. We could buy Dev here. Oh my god, sorry, my mouse is... I have some issues with my mouse here. So let's see if we can do something like this. I'm actually pretty curious to buy Dev. That's fine with me too. Road Builder's perfect. So good. So good. That's what we love to see. And frankly, we don't care about this. We can get robbed. We have a brick. We're going to go for the 10-9-11 here. We could make the play for the 8-3, which gives us the port flexibility. We'll have to see when we get there. It's really going to depend on what's black's first priority. But I think 8-3, where we get another wheat source, we have all this ore, we get even more sheep with that 3, we get the 3-1. Probably better now that I look at it. Yeah, I think 8-3 is just better here, right? We've already got the city. As a rule, what I like to say when you're playing a development card style game is you kind of need 2 main things. You're going to need an early city so that your production kind of kicks up nicely, and then you're going to need a port so that you can start to use that production more efficiently. And those are the 2 levers that are usually going to take you into the middle game very nicely. Lots of trades. Woodport is down. Woodport is pretty dangerous here. I definitely am not crazy about it. Yeah, it looks like we're losing that spot. Okay, so 8-3 it is, right? Don't have to worry too much about that. Big block. We are going to need a 3 in the process, like 3, 3, 6, 9. We do get to settle in the 8, 3, and at that point, I think we cook pretty well. I believe you did block the 5, so the ore is pretty sparse. Yeah, 8. Man, I can't tell you enough how good the road builder is here. Kind of a mistake there. This guy's got a lot of wood. You shouldn't be pulling for resources that you produce, right? He's got a lot of wood on the 10 and 11. He's got the 8. Patience. Use the Yop for bigger and better plays. For him, the 8, 10, 4 city is a monster, right? Definitely should have been considered there. Okay, we're going to see if we can get the wood for brick here with orange, potentially. Yeah, there's a lot of wood going down this board for sure. This is kind of telegraphing what I have. I'm okay with that. So let's see if we can snag the wood. This is generally not a bad trade for this guy. Might ask for 2, and I'm actually completely okay with that. Oh, wow. This might be a potential trade with blue. No, I guess he did just roll. Looking at blue here. The 2-card meta might push him over the edge. Certainly does. Perfect. So now, oh my God, let's go. Big 3. I was a little concerned about getting rid of my sheep, but knowing that I have that, we're all good. Now we're absolutely rocking and rolling here, right? I mean, it's just, we're going to buy devs. That's all we need. That's all we need. We also have this bonus settle spot here on the 6, which is pretty awesome as far as I am concerned. Nope. So we've got triple ore. Holy smokes. So let's try this. I don't want to use my sheep if I don't have to, but there's a decent amount of brick, so I'll peddle one of the sheep for a brick here. I don't have it, brother. I think we got a pot for sure. Nice. Okay. The knights are going to start flying. And the thing is it's really hard to block us, especially once we get a couple 3s rolling where we have that supply of sheep in our hands. At that case, it's like we have a clear advantage on this game. Yeah, see, now you're 3 for 1 for ore. You could have used your Yop. You didn't have to waste the Yop there, man. Now it's going to make that city build really tough for you. So this is just a good example of, or we cheap, right? Like, let's not overcomplicate it. We got a great position. I do think it's interesting too. Blue is making these super expensive trades. Not a fan of it necessarily. We have the knight. And what's nice, he probably puts on the 8. I might honestly not play the knight. Because what I don't want to happen is... Yeah. Oh, that sucks. Okay. I want to go back and get that ore if I can. Wood's pretty good too. Wood is good. The good wood. Damn it, bruh. The 9's a good block. The 9's actually a really good block here. But we have the 8, right? So that was kind of part of our intentions. We wanted to have that 8. Big block. So I'm going to see if I can peddle off this brick for wheat. Perfect, perfect. We don't need the brick anymore. We've actually got a lot of brick here. Yep, so that's a dev. We're going to keep the train moving. Another knight. Perfect. He steals the brick. We don't need the brick. As long as I'm not losing my sheep, I'm not losing my wheat, I'm generally pretty happy about this. Yeah, we just kind of keep moving and grooving here. Yeah. Take the brick. I don't want it. Big roll. Big roll. Potentially the city play for black. So, kind of in light of that, I might actually just hit here. I don't feel threatened by anyone else, really. Perfect. And now, like, big block. Now, this player's probably got to really double down on trying to get his city build, but obviously he's going to be kind of really banking on that 4 to come in. That's his only source of ore at this point. Don't see this happening, man. Especially considering you put a lot of pressure on this 5. I don't think this guy, unless he had a bunch of ore in his hand, he's not going to be given away that easily. He needs to build a city. Perfect. Perfect. This is obviously a problem. I hope he doesn't aggressively play knight. Perfect. Perfect. Another dev in our hand. I would like to get the 5-4-11 city kind of up and running. This is a good trade for me. Wow, we're just getting trades left and right. Yeah, he's cooking, man. Perfect. Now, 3 would be amazing here. Settle pop. I'd be over the moon about that play. Feels like this game's picking up. I think here, though, the pop's going to be good. Oh, man, I don't like this. Perfect. So let's see if we can pedal off this sheep and clear a hand. I think getting rid of the wood when we have it's pretty nice. Oh my god, okay. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so kind of a weird scenario here, right? We do settle for 5, flip the knight for 7. We kind of really need this other city. So a couple 5s, we're looking good. I do think black's doing quite well. He's got all this space and all this production. That's a little concerning to me. It's a big hit. It's a big hit for black, right? I mean, he's already getting a lot of cards. Nice. Okay, we can settle pop. VP would be great, and actually, we've even got a potential road play here. Okay, okay, he's painting himself a pretty big target. We actually have another city in our hand. Do we take the city? We also just have... Yeah, I think we take the city, honestly. This is just 5 points. We have 7 in our hand. Big block, man. That block is doing some work. Nice 2. Okay. Kind of risky there. I kind of felt like the settle was always going to be there, so like it feels like the city just kind of gives us a lot of runway. And obviously we're kind of banking on these 3s to come in. Okay, good, good, good. What is it here? Perfect. Yeah, he's in a monster spot for sure. Nice block. Mono's pretty nasty here if he has one. Big roll, big roll. He might just end up trying to win here, though. So we've got to make some big plays here. God damn it. What do we do? What do we do? What just rolled the 10, huh? We gotta pray he doesn't have more knights, huh? Jesus. I think the way we end this game is we just draw, we double city here, right? Dude, what is going on with Blue's hand? Think we actually have to port here. The mono is so problematic, unfortunately. So let's port for... This is just a little bit of mono defense. Bro, what is this, dude? What is this? He just wins with a bunch of VPs in hand? Be so disgusting if that's the case. Yeah, okay. I'm okay with this. I'd rather see the sheep go than the ore, for sure. Because now we have winning rolls, right? Like 9 is a city for 9. Nice mono. Jesus. Oh my god. All right, so we have a wheat steal. All right, there's a city. He's got... Mono's pretty devastating here, huh? So we steal an ore, we win the game, right? Is there any way we can... What ore is there? I don't think there's any ore. He bought a ton of devs, didn't he? Well, he's probably got a knight. Should steal from me. Oh my god. All right. Everything wins here. What a crazy game. What a crazy game. We need an ore roll. Just like that, baby. Catan's too easy sometimes. Damn. Bro went absolutely ham on the devs, huh? Absolutely ham. GG. Fun game. I was hoping I could get a pop, but I'm not even gonna chance it. Screw it. Another city in hand for the funds. How many VPs did this guy have? Insane blue. Insane blue. Yeah, he went kind of crazy on the devs, and he only got 2. I mean, Black, you're doing well. You know, like, you lost a lot of cards here. Yeah, you lost 16 cards. Like, he lost 16 cards and still kept up with the board, you know? Like, the one disadvantage for Black, though, by far is the fact he didn't have a port, but crazy game, crazy game. I think this is a good case. A few things. The 693, as some of you might know, is one of my favorite picks, specifically because of the 8-3. This ability to go road to the 8-3, where you just pick up this extra production, you're getting the port. I mean, this double weed, triple ore situation was really nice. The 3s were great. But I also think Blue had to be a little bit more aware of trying to close down the ore a bit. You know, obviously they gave me this ore pile. They even gave me the 6-5-11. Ultimately, like, I think that was the right play. I kind of felt I was going to lose the 6-5, but kind of controlling the ore in the way that I did actually, I think, played to my benefit, so that anytime somebody got ore, I was also on the receiving end of that as well. Also, I'm on almost all the wheat rolls with the exception of the 10, which, by the way, did roll pretty nicely on this board. Like, these are wild rolls. Obviously, the 8 was very good. I don't even think we produced the most cards. Yeah, so Blue actually produced the most, because he was on the 8 and the 10. And then it looks like we rolled the second most. But our resource score is not ridiculous. Not compared to Blue anyway, especially with him having the mono and 7 down devs. I think this is one thing people get too caught up. You know, sometimes, like, going into the dev deck that much is too much. Because, like, let's say he has 2 VPs, that's great. But he has a bunch of knights, he has a road builder, he has a yop. The big problem is he needs time to play all his devs. Right? So if you're sitting there with 5 playable devs and the game's on in the 3 orbits, that means half the devs you bought you can't even use anyways. So I think probably better there was to try to maybe pop once or twice and then drop a city with the other devs if you could. I think the amount of pops that he did was just, okay, fine, you're fishing for the VPs, hoping to get lucky, but, you know, probably not the most optimal decisions. I do like the 693 city. We do have a ton of ore with the 5, 4, and 11. But there is a case, I think, to city that as well. It's just, I think, getting this machine up and running, getting to the port, being able to flexibly use this brick. We did port the brick quite a bit, which ended up being pretty helpful to us. But yeah, we played a pretty standard game, right? Like, nothing crazy, nothing flashy. We didn't pull any monster devs. I would say the road builder was the best dev we could have pulled at that moment. But other than that, like, I think this just shows you the power of having a good setup, good production, a good port, strong ore and wheat, and also, like, one thing you might not notice, but I made a lot of very subtle trades for the wood, which were actually very helpful because it's a lot more difficult for me to settle here unless I'm making those trades. So every move matters, every trade matters. But all right, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to keep going through the ranks this season. I'm happy to be back. Glad to have you here. I'll see you soon, guys. Dandy is out.